What is going on, traders? Welcome back to the Traveling Trader. So today I'm going to get into our S&P 500 market analysis as usual, and I'll go over whether you should buy bankrupt stocks and what can an investor or trader gain from buying bankrupt stocks. There are a few companies that filed for bankruptcy during this pandemic. Hertz is one of them. JCPenney is another. LatAm Airlines is another. However, they are all up. So could you have made money on this? Is there still money to be made on this? And what can an investor expect from buying bankrupt stocks? But first, and more importantly, if you've been following this channel, especially the last week, you know that I've been running a sweepstakes. I've been telling you to put in the comment section a random option or stock play, and I will pick it at random and enter it today, today's video, which is Friday. I have about $1,000 in a Webull account, maybe a little less, 900 something in a Webull account. I'll pick a comment at random right now using this YouTube, what is this? It's like a YouTube random comment picker. And by the end of the month, if there's any gains, I don't care if it's 10% or 10,000%, whoever's comment I pick will get those proceeds. I will give you the profits. So let's get to that first, and I'll get to the market analysis right after. I will be doing this every month. Seems like a super fun idea. All right, so the last videos from Monday and Wednesday, I told you guys to leave a comment. So first we have to pick the video. The video from both of them that I'm going to use the comments from. So let's go to random.org. Let's just say heads will be the first video that I released on June 1st, and tails will be the second video that I released on June 3rd. So heads or tails, let's see. Flip the coin. So tails. So we'll pick the second video that I released on June 3rd. So let me just get that URL and then go over to the random comment picker, put in that URL and see what trade we get. Exciting times. I'm actually excited for this. So winner Gwent Champ, he said Deutsche Bank long and hard. Okay, this person didn't give any details with regards to whether this should be, you know, an option or what the expiry is. So I'm just going to buy Deutsche Bank. Here we go. It's trading at $9.78 today. It's up 3%. So I'm going to go all in on Deutsche Bank. Let's see how much I can buy. So this account has $902 in it. So I'm just going to go $900 on Deutsche Bank. 978, blah, blah, blah. All right. Place order. Oh, buy. Because he said long and hard, he or she. I assume it's a he just because of the sick joke, but let's see. So here we go. All right, so the order's in. You can see here, Deutsche Bank, 92 shares at $9.79 a share. And by the end of the month, we'll see where this is, and I will give you the profits if there are any. If there are losses, don't worry, I'll eat them up myself. But if there are profits, I'll give them to you. So stay tuned, and we'll continue to check on this in future videos. And if you get anything out of this video or enjoyed that sweepstakes, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And let me know in the comment section below if it's more likely that we hit all-time highs or see a retracement first. All right, let's get into the SPY. So looking at the SPY, I said in my previous video that this level here at the 0.786 fib level, this $313, that this would be a pivotal level. And we spent only 2 candles there seeing some resistance before gapping up today. And this gap up was likely due to the jobs report that came out. It's funny how the negative jobs report really didn't seem to have an effect on the markets. We had, I don't know what, 35, 40 million people unemployed at one point. But now the positive jobs report is definitely sparking a rally in the markets because it shows that the sentiment is that, you know, traders are looking for reopenings, they're looking for the economy to start back up. So any signs, any surprise signs or unexpected signs in that direction are going to raise the market prices. So we see that on the SPY right now, it's currently at 320, which is unreal. And we're 5.5% away from all-time highs. I asked you guys in the poll on my YouTube channel whether at that point we were 10% away from all-time highs, but I said, do you think we're going to reach all-time highs before a correction? Most of you said yes, but it was pretty close. 53% said yes, 47% said no. But it looks like for all intents and purposes, that's the case. However, if we take a look at the stocks individually, you'll see that a lot of stocks are currently at resistance. So even if you look at American Airlines, it's down like 16. It's technically up today, but from the peak of today, it's down like 16 or 17%, finding, some resistance at the 200 MA. It looks like Jets is retracing to find support at the 100 MA. Carnival Cruise Lines looks like it might be finding some resistance at the 100 MA. You get the picture. There just seems to be a lot of resistance. One that we were in that just went absolutely apeshit is SPG, Simon Property Group. If you just go back to the video on Monday, I was talking about why I was so bullish on this stock. So not only is it an REIT, real estate investment trust, but it's specifically focused on malls. And I knew that there was hype around the reopening, and you can see that it gapped up today. We're currently up about 50% on SPG, maybe a little bit more. And I send out all these trades, by the way. Sign up if you want access. Link is in the description. I send out all these trades, stocks, options, crypto, etc. So sign up, be a part of the private trading group where I send out my portfolios, my trades. You can learn how to trade options, chat with the rest of the traders in the group. But yeah, so what's next for the SPY? Well, there is just one more resistance level before all-time highs, but it's not really that strong of a resistance level. We see it here where the couple of candles back in late February before the major crash, this is at around 325. Now, if we take a look, the SPY is overbought, for the first time since January. So we are definitely getting a little overextended here. I might even engage in a put at around 325 or sell a call at around 325 just to hedge against some of these positions we have. I mean, Lululemon is up 60%, Tesla up 93%, and that's aside from the Tesla option that we closed for 70% yesterday. So pay attention to it, 325. Let's see what happens with the SPY. But the fact that we're 5% away from all-time highs, there's absolutely no reason that we don't get there. I mean, it's inevitable already. We crossed, the 200 moving average. We crossed the psychological level of $300 on the SPY. We crossed this level that there was supposed to be some resistance, only a couple of candles of resistance at 313. There's no reason why we don't get to 338 soon. Now, what happens after that? I mean, I'm definitely for the holdings. I mean, if those of you that follow the channel know when we actually started buying, which was around the week of the stimulus. So I'm actually getting a little bit nervous. And you can see that sentiment is also expressed by some analysts and some money managers. This money manager says that they slashed their stock market exposure from 55% to 25%. And I could see why, because I'm thinking the same way, right? Like, I don't want to lose the 50% profits that we made on SPG, especially as it comes upon resistance here. I definitely don't want to lose, the 93% on Tesla or the 60% on Lululemon. But the more that these things go up, the shakier it feels, right? That the foundation doesn't feel like it's sturdy. So I'm definitely looking to, either reduce my positions here or hedge by buying some puts against the market or selling some calls against the market. We'll see. I'll send those out in the trade alerts below. All right, let us take a look at these bankrupt companies. So there are a few of them that are going, that have already filed for bankruptcy, and some that have even, like Luckin Coffee, that have been accused of financial misdealings and were threatened with being delisted. But why is Luckin Coffee up 38% today? It was up 57% yesterday, 10% the day before, and 14% the day before. It's just on an absolute tear. So in the last 4 days, Luckin Coffee has gone up 170%. Hertz has gone up in the last couple of days. Hertz is now up 236%, right? JCPenney is up 3%. Look at LatAm Airlines. LatAm Airlines, which also filed for bankruptcy over the last 5 days, is up 94%. Intelsat is up, let's see, this one over the last week or so is up 273%. I could go on and on. You get the picture. Acorn, this is another company that also filed for bankruptcy. So why are these up, and could you make any money by buying into these companies? Or should I say, could you make any money by buying into these companies now? Well, I think it depends on the company, but if you look at why you would even entertain buying a company that went bankrupt, it's all about context. So if you look at something like HTZ, this is considered a travel stock, right? Rental car companies, and everybody knows that, everybody expects that the travel industry is hit by the pandemic, but everyone expects it to bounce back. So even if you look at American Airlines, there's no reason, why it should have went up 40% yesterday. There's no reason why Carnival Cruise Line should be up 22%. Well, when I say no reason, there's little reason in the current time, but the stock market is all about projecting future. So Hertz, especially if it gets bought out, especially if one of these bankrupt companies get bought out by, say, like if Hertz gets bought out by Booking, I mean, this stock is going to skyrocket. I'm not saying buy it. I'm just giving you a glimpse of why investors would buy into something like Hertz during its Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Even if it doesn't get bought out, the hope is that it restructures its debt and can come out of this in a stronger position than it was before. And if you look, we're talking about Chapter 11 bankruptcy, not Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Chapter 11 bankruptcy allows the company to stay open and operate while restructuring its debt. So even if you take a look at American Airlines, it had filed for bankruptcy. It was like 6 years ago, and it bounced back, obviously, before crashing due to the pandemic. If you look at PG&E, this company filed for bankruptcy in January, and since the crash lows, it's up 76%. There was talk that Luckin Coffee would be purchased by the same company that owns Tim Hortons. So, a lot of these have to do with potential pure plays in the future, what investors are expecting with these companies. But also, a lot of them are penny stocks now. So if you take a look at LatAm Airlines, this thing is trading at $2. If you take a look at Hertz, it's trading at $2.74. Luckin Coffee is trading at $5. Intelsat is trading at 60 cents. So not only are they, subject to a lot of volatility because of how cheap they are, but they're easy to pump. And it's a combination of investors having hope for companies like Hertz and maybe LatAm Airlines, maybe JCPenney, but it's also an easy way for speculators to come in and pump the price up and ride the wave. And they have no intention of holding these companies. So don't get sucked into it just because you see these large gains. Now, there are fundamental reasons, like I said, for you to maybe open a position long term on something like LatAm Airlines for when the economy reopens, right? In hopes that it either bounces back or gets bought out. But holding large positions in these things could really tank your portfolio, because if Hertz starts tanking, if it drops, just say it drops $1, that's a 37% hit to your portfolio, or at least to this portion of your portfolio. So if it's a large holding, then it is really risky. So if you are trading these, I would say that it really is just a gamble. If you're purely swing trading these or trying to day trade them, because there aren't really established areas of support, like how would you know that Hertz would bounce off of 80 cents and not tank to 40 cents again? Or how do you know that LatAm Airlines would find support at $1 and not tank below that? Because you could have easily bought LatAm. Like if you saw that it was finding support here at around $2, you could have easily bought it and then thought that the worst was over before it tanked again to $1. So if you're purely trading it really is just a crapshoot. I would say stick to like the moving averages. These things seem to find resistance at the moving averages, whether it's a 21 EMA or the 50 MA. And if you're investing it, I wouldn't put I wouldn't put more than I'm willing to risk, but you kind of have to ignore the short-term pains that you'll experience. So if you jump into HTZ right now and it's at 269 and you're intending on holding it for the long term till it gets, maybe in the long term it gets to $5 or back to $10 even, which seems like a miracle now, you're going to have to hold this for a very long time. And HTZ can easily go back to, I don't know, so say it goes back to $1.50, you're down 44% on HTZ. But if you're truly a long-term holder and you're an investor, then yeah, you can invest into HTZ, hoping that eventually it gets back up to $5, which would net you, around 87% from here. Really, there's no elegant way of going about this. And I'll just wrap up by saying this. If you're not in the market, I don't think this is a good time to jump in at all. We had a long time to jump in, and I've been sending out mass number of alerts, but now we are so extended. Again, we're 5% away from all-time highs. Really, the only thing you can do right now is just dollar cost average like you would in any bull market. But I would not, overextend myself here, because we don't know what's to come. We don't know if there's a second wave of the pandemic. We don't know to what extent employees are going to be rehired. We don't know what companies will be, permanently affected by this. There's still a lot we don't know. We don't know, how movie theaters are going to open, how long airlines are going to have to leave a couple of seats open each row, how long the Cheesecake Factory is going to have to operate at half capacity. Like there's so much we don't know. So it's a very precarious situation if you're not already in it and you haven't ridden, you know, the market this whole way into profits. There is something as being too late to the market for a certain time. Now, if you know how to trade options, that's a different story. You can make money off of neutral strategies, just as we do off of iron condors or iron butterflies. In terms of buying stocks, this is a very precarious moment to buy stocks. You would definitely not be following the smart money if you decided to take large positions now and you didn't have large positions before. Anyway, that is it for this video. Go ahead and leave it a thumbs up if you get anything out of this. If you want the trade alerts, sign up, link is in the description. If you wanted one-on-one time with me, I sold out for June already. Took the max number of people that I can take, so it will have to be July. If you're looking to get in on the options training or the trading training, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Stay safe out there, traders. Peace.